Today I have a video about the song mode. I want to talk to you about the song mode and why it is so important to me and to many people out there that like working this way. Okay, this is not combat between the arrangement view and the song mode. This is me just expressing why the song mode is more relevant than the arrangement view. For me, obviously, it's more important, but for you, the arrangement view will be more important, and that's okay. That's because we have different ways of approaching music as creative beings. We all have our preferences. You like the arrangement view, I like the song mode, and I'm going to take you into the MPC. I'm going to show you a song, and I'm going to explain why song mode is important to me, how I create music, how I go about arranging a song, and why I do it that way, okay? This song is out this week. You can check the link below to go and listen to the full song on Spotify. I have been putting out music every week for the past 2 months. This is the latest one that I've put out. Go and listen to it. Thank you so much. Let's jump into the MPC. So I like to start just by going into my first sequence and getting the drum loop in. So I build up a drum loop, and after the drum loop, I go into the browser and load up some samples. I got a bunch of samples. Normally, I've been doing this for a long time. I chop samples, I save the programs. I've been sharing these to Patreon as well. I got the folder right here, crops. Inside of these, I got a bunch of files, and I was just going to these. And I'll load up a program, and then I'll try these samples on the drums. So that's like the way I always start. In this case, I loaded up this program right here on track number 2. And I like this a lot, right? So I just, let me just sketch out an idea. So I started just recording this. Right. So it's honestly, this is just an idea. If I hear something I like, I kind of record it into a sequence. I don't make much of it. I just put it into a sequence. Then what I start doing is copying sequences and trying different ideas. So from this sequence, I copy the sequence to a new, and then I went to sequence number 2. Okay. Sequence number 2, I still have that right there, but I muted it and I brought in new samples, which are here. All right, so track number 4, right here. So I'm just now bringing in new samples and trying a different idea in a new sequence, all right? So this is why I love working with multiple sequences so much, is that you can copy a sequence, try a different idea. Everything is pretty much a sketch. I'm just brainstorming around all these new samples that I keep bringing in. And I'm not committing to an idea right now. What I'm trying to do is just, bringing in samples and trying ideas, just brainstorming around this drum loop and with different samples. So right now, what I did with this sequence is that I brought this. I like this a lot, so what I did, I just recorded it like that. So let me solo. And that was it. So put the drums on top of that, and you get that. Right? So then I go and grab the samples that I had previously, and I sketch a new idea with the same samples on top of this, right? And I think that's on track number 5. It's the same program, but this right here has a high pass filter on it. And then I start layering this idea on top of these samples, on top of those samples. So right now, this is great. This is going in a direction that I really like. This will be part of the song for sure. But, I don't know where I'm going to go, and I don't know where to start. So what I do is I keep on copying sequences. I copy this sequence to a new one, and then I'll go into a new idea. So then I went to sequence number 3, and I have this. Basically, I took away the vocals and I brought in some horns. So track number 4 or 3 have a new program, right? So now I'm layering some horns on top of the previous samples, and this is what I love doing with the MPC, and just creating new sequences, brainstorming around the samples, and creating different pieces from that initial idea. So that's what I did here with this one. And again, I like that, I keep it, but let me brainstorm around this sample a little more. So again, same thing, copy the sequence, and I copied it to number 4. And on number 4, I think I went here to, so these are the same samples, but they're played in a different way. They have a different pattern. Number 4, here we go. Right? So I'm just playing around with the patterns and, you know, just getting the most I can out of these chops that I have. So that eventually becomes a new sequence, right? And again, keep on building the same thing. Copy the sequence to a new one and keep on recording more things. And at this point, I still have no idea how the arrangement is going to be. And that's why I like it so much to work this way, because I'm not worrying about how the song is going to play out. I just want to bring in as much flavor as I can with the samples and see where I can really go with the samples. So I'm just testing ideas out on multiple sequences. And again, I keep copying. This eventually will be the intro. Right? So at this point, I'm actually designing the beat a little bit because I've created an intro right there. Just switching up the samples. At this point, I'm already in the song mode. And this is why I like, because I know I'm in the song mode because I'm using the same sequences, but with different drums in there and a little bit of different samples, just switching it up a little bit. And that's why I like working with the song mode, is that it allows me to grab these different pieces that I've created and really test out. It's like a puzzle, because I have these different ideas. I can test how they're going to fit. Do they fit here? Which ones are going to work better going from one to the other? I really test these ideas out like a puzzle until I find like a connection, an arrangement that I like. To me, that's the power of the song mode. And of course, the song mode it should be updated. This is the thing that I would love Akai to update, is the song mode, because I don't want to move away from this idea that I have of making music where it's like every new sequence is a new possibility, is a new sketch. Okay, and I really like working this way. I like just to create ideas. There's stuff that never ends up on the song, like this. This never got into the song, but it was a sketch, and it could have been in the song. This idea of going into the song mode and saying like, all right, just sketching out this puzzle, it's so easy for me just to go here. Maybe I don't want sequence 3, I want sequence 4. Maybe I don't want sequence 3, I want sequence 2 or 1. Or maybe let me try this sequence right here. I can just puzzle this in a way that is so easy to change the middle of a song and test new ideas without having to delete the MIDI that's in the arrangement view. Because if you're in an arrangement view, then you have to delete that section, bring in another section. It's all about doing destructive processing of the song arrangement. Here it's not destructive. This is non-destructive because basically you're just jumping between different ideas. You're not deleting the sequence that's in there. You're basically testing a new idea. And it's because you have multiple songs, you can create multiple ideas from different from these sequences. Okay, as you saw, that's why I like to work in the song mode, because I like to sketch multiple ideas in different sequences before I commit to a final arrangement. I believe that people that work in the arrangement view prefer a different arrangement. They have a different approach to creating music. I believe that they like to create an idea that they really like on the first 4 or 8 bars and then extend and expand on that idea. So it's completely different. There's 2 different approaches. None of them is right, none of them is wrong. It's just different approaches. And that's why I believe a lot of people like the arrangement view, because they want to commit to an idea and just expand on it. The other way, I don't like to commit to any idea straight away. I like just to play around with samples as much as I can, extract different patterns. And then at the end, when I have all the pieces, I like to put them together. And the song mode is perfect for that. So I really dig this way of working. And, you know, to me, the song mode is better than the arrangement view because of that. Not saying that I wouldn't use the arrangement view, because now with the arrangement view, I can export the song into the arrangement view and do some final touches. But the idea of arranging will be done in the song mode. Anyway, that was my take on it. This is not a battle. This is me just expressing why so many of us prefer to work in a song mode, and why it gives us more flexibility when it comes to arranging multiple sequences. Now, could I do the same workflow in the arrangement view? Technically, you could. You could create a section at the beginning, then create a new idea in the middle, create another idea, but then, you know, maybe it wouldn't make sense because all these ideas that I'm putting out, I'm not thinking about what I did previously. I'm just creating a new idea. I'm just testing things. And if I was doing that in the arrangement view, it wouldn't sound right because some of these sequences just wouldn't play along with others. So it doesn't make sense to create all these different ideas in the arrangement view, right? They're just different sketches. Like some of these sequences don't actually make sense going into other sequences. And this is like a small project. If I would show you one of my big projects, you'll have different beats on different sequences. So many people work this way, right? And it just doesn't make sense to create that in the arrangement view. And I understand why people like to create that way, don't care so much about the song mode, because they like to extend on that initial idea, and the song mode doesn't really make sense. They would rather have that whole view. I get it, of course, but hopefully you also understand why the song mode is important to a lot of us. And that's the whole point of the video, okay? I'm happy everyone is getting what they want. The MPC3 is going to come with the arrangement view in with track mutes, which will let us work on the song mode the same way. So, you know, it's win-win for all. And let's see what comes out next as well. Thank you so much for watching the video. Drop a comment down below, share the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Bye-bye.